ask you all to raise your hand if you personally or someone you know has been impacted by being unhoused. It's a lot of people. So good morning. My name is Avery. I'm going to be sharing with you all my personal journey from unhoused to success and the principles that my family used to navigate that journey. Share what those principles mean on a greater scale with the unhoused community, and then talk about how we all have the power to be able to address these issues together. Is that cool with you guys?
Absolutely.
I hope so. So, to start this conversation of my journey, I want to start by saying my journey doesn't look like the stereotypical unhoused journey. We weren't living on the streets. We weren't living in shelters even though we had been in a shelter before. We were facing temporary living, so we didn't have permanent residency anywhere. We didn't have our own residency a lot of times. Growing up, we lived in over 13 different cities, many more homes, apartments, mobile homes, you name it. We were raised in a single-parent household by my mother. I had 3 siblings, 1 older brother, a younger sister, a younger brother. And despite the circumstances that we lived in, we still had hope. Our mom was truly an anchor for our family. She was our rock. She kept us in the eye of the storm regardless of what was going on. We had our integrity intact. We had a happy childhood, and we were whole. And truly, wherever she was, felt like home to us. And she taught us, it doesn't matter what's going on circumstantially, because circumstances change. It's about how you respond to the circumstances that you're dealing with. That's the power. In addition, she told us that all we needed was a stable place to be able to nourish ourselves and grow. That place could change from time to time. But as long as we had each other and that integrity, we would get where we're going. And so to put this into a more understandable form, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about when we were living in a mobile home. I think I was in about 8th grade when this happened. My brothers, my sister wasn't born yet. She sat us down at the table after dinner. It was a small square table, 1 bedroom, mobile home. You could look from the front door to the back of it. And you know, we're young, so rambunctious, 3 boys, living the dream. And we still respected our mom though, so we listened. So she sat us down and she said, first I want to tell you guys, you need to know your worth. Despite the circumstances you're experiencing today, you have the same value as someone who owns a house, comes from a same or double parent family, who has all the opportunities. You have that same value. Second, she told us, she looked us in the eyes. She said, we're going to hold each other accountable. Yes, the circumstances are what they are, but we're going to make sure that we still show up, we show out, and we have each other's backs, regardless of what happens. And the last thing she told us was that we have to walk in faith, knowing that all things are possible through God. Despite the circumstances that we were in, we had the power to overcome those circumstances if we knew our worth, held each other accountable, and then walked in that faith. Now, those pillars led us from that mobile home in Davenport, waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, going over to East Moline where we had school at, showering at a location before that, go to class, go to sports, still show up, still show out, go home, restart. While those were tough circumstances, like I said, we were in the eye of the storm. We were like, hey, if you say it, let's do it. So we made it happen. Those are no longer the circumstances we're facing today, but it's because of those pillars that she gave us that we were able to navigate that situation into more stability. But beyond us, those pillars still apply to the unhoused community at large. The unhoused have just as much value as anyone in this society. Just because their circumstances are what they are does not mean they don't have the same intrinsic value that those not facing housing insecurity have. We have to see it and know it can't be taken away from them, like a house. It can't be evicted from their value. When it comes to accountability, for our situation, we knew it was our job to take the necessary steps and make the right choices for upward mobility. But for those not facing housing insecurity, we have to be accountable in showing up in our own capacity to create the communities and structures so people in our community aren't falling through cracks. As Reverend Ford said, we don't know who around us is facing housing insecurity. It could be us facing housing insecurity in this moment and no one around us knows. People are still showing up, smiling, doing the work it takes to get out, but we need to have more compassion and hold each other accountable on both ends of this work. And lastly, we have to be able to walk in faith, knowing the intrinsic value that I have, that you all have, that everyone in society has. Believe that it's possible to change. Believe that circumstances don't define who the person is. And then create those systems and structures for upward mobility, not just for ourselves, but for others too. So with these pillars, we were able to get out of a very insecure situation and find more stability in life. Happily now, my mother was a single parent, had her first child at 17. 3 out of her 4 children have now graduated college. She's going on to get her degree as well. My older sister is well along her way. She's the youngest of the bunch, so she thinks she gets to do everything. But she's well along her way to getting her degree too. I graduated from Augustana. Yes. Went on to get a master's certificate from Duke. Presented research at the American Political Science Association. As you all heard, I'm a business owner, published author, got engaged last month. Things do change. You know, things do change when you have that place to be able to nourish yourself and grow. But for us, it wasn't just about us finding that stability for ourselves. It was about us finding that stability for ourselves and then becoming an asset for others to do the same. Becoming that change we wish to see in the world. Becoming that adult that we needed as children. And that reflects the work that I now do today. The current job that I do, among many actually, but my 9 to 5. I'm a Western Revitalization Coordinator, which is the urban development plan for the Western Rock Island. Our mission is to create a preferred place to live and thrive here in the Western community. To do that, we increase the wealth, power, and livability of the residents living here in the Western community. Now, for us, we know community revitalization doesn't start with bricks. It starts with people. It starts with relationships. And it starts with the spirit of knowing change is possible. And not only is change possible, it must happen. And that's why I applaud Project Now and the work that they do and the pillar they are in this community. Because they provide so many resources, housing, stability, holistic support to some of the most in-need community members that we have. To provide upward mobility possibilities that would not be present without them. And so I commend you all for your words sincerely. Sincerely. But ultimately, I do know it takes a village of partners. Yes. Not just people, but partners. People working together to build strong communities. And everyone here in this room today is a builder in their own capacity and their own right. And so let's give up a round of applause for you all for being here today. As I said before, just about programs. We're building people. And strong communities aren't built off of chance. They're built off of choice. Not chance, but choice. And that takes partners, real people coming together to learn each other, understand the pain, understand the aspirations, and then find out how can we support each other in this process of building not just strong communities, not just strong homes, but strong people. And I challenge you all today to continue to build from this moment on with the people you have in your network, with the people you have in your community, with the people that you know, with yourself, so we all can build a greater tomorrow than we've ever seen. With that, I said thank you.
For those who have never heard him speak or haven't had the privilege of meeting him, please make a connection. He has been someone that I am deeply proud of and appreciative of his investment into community. Talked about this idea of investing and making sure that we think about another person. Gwendolyn Brooks said, we are each other's harvest, we are each other's business. And so if I ask a question, it's not that I'm trying to get in your business, you are my business. We are each other's harvest, we are each other's business, we are each other's magnitude and bond. The fact that we make an investment into another human life will all yield a lifetime of return. Thank you for those that made an investment in his life, his mother, and all those folks, the teachers, the professors. Now we yield a lifetime.